Have you ever walked into a quiet library and felt like every single person looked up to judge your footsteps? Or perhaps you spent an entire day worried about a tiny coffee stain on your sleeve, convinced it was the first thing people noticed about you? In psychology, this is called the spotlight effect. It is the persistent belief that we are being observed and evaluated much more than we actually are. We are the lead actors in our own life story, so we naturally assume we're at least a supporting character in everyone else's. But the truth is often much quieter. Here are 6 signs that the spotlight is lying to you. The first sign is the post-game analysis. This happens after a social interaction, a class presentation, a date, or even a quick chat at the grocery store. Instead of moving on with your day, you replay the conversation in your head. You analyze your tone, your posture, and that one awkward joke you made. You're convinced the other person is sitting at home thinking about how weird you were. In reality, they are likely doing the exact same thing, worrying about their own performance, not yours. Sign number 2 is a hyperfixation on physical flaws. When you have the spotlight effect, a bad hair day or a small blemish feels like a neon sign. Psychologists found that we suffer from variable visibility. Because we know our flaws are there, we assume they are visible to everyone. But research shows that unless a flaw is pointed out, most people won't even register it. Their brains are busy processing their own environment, not scanning you for imperfections. Do you ever find yourself walking down a long hallway or across a campus square and suddenly forget how to walk naturally? Because you feel watched, you begin to manually control your body. You worry about your arm swing, your pace, and where you're looking. This is the paradox of the spotlight. By trying to look normal for an imaginary audience, we actually become more stiff. This happens because your brain is diverting energy from your subconscious movement to your conscious performance center. The fourth sign is the intense fear of being late. Not because you'll miss information, but because of the entrance. To someone with the spotlight effect, opening a door and walking to a seat feels like walking onto a stage. You imagine the entire room pausing to judge your tardiness. In a study on this exact scenario, researchers found that while the late person felt a 10 out of 10 level of embarrassment, the students already in the room rated their notice of the person at a 2 out of 10. Most didn't even look up. Sign 5 is assuming that your internal critic is everyone else's external critic. If you are someone who is very hard on yourself, you project that harshness onto others. You assume that because you notice your stutter, they must be judging you for it. This is a psychological glitch where we mistake our own self-judgment for the opinions of the world. We aren't afraid of their judgment. We are afraid of our own judgment coming from their mouths. Finally, sign 6 is using social clutches to hide. This is when you pull out your phone the moment you're standing alone in a public place. You aren't checking your phone because you have a notification. You're using it as a shield. You think that if you look busy or connected, people won't judge you for being alone. But the irony of the spotlight effect is that while we think everyone is judging us for being alone, most people are actually admiring the confidence of someone who can stand comfortably in their own company. The cure for the spotlight effect is a simple realization. Everyone is the protagonist of their own movie. When you realize that the person next to you is also worried about their hair, their walk, and their social performance, the pressure vanishes. You aren't being watched, you're just one person in a crowd of people who are also feeling a little bit awkward. Once you turn the spotlight off, you finally have the light you need to just be yourself. This is InnerSense. If you felt that spotlight lately, leave a comment below. Let's realize together that we're all in this invisible audience. Subscribe to understand your mind better.